Hi, guys. My name is Kim,
And I'm Abby
and this is
Calabasas.
Cultura. Hi, Abby.
Hey, Kim.
We got a guest. Can you tell us about her?
Emma, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here. I just want to introduce Emma to all y'all. Her name is Emma Westbrook on Instagram. Um, but Emma is a magical mentor, a tarot reader, and an oracle deck creator. And her oracle deck just came out, and I love it so much. I'm so excited to
Literally
have
10
you,
out of 10.
Emma.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm so excited you have it too.
dude, she was showing me earlier today, and I was freaking out. I would have to say my all-time favorite was, I think it was Wrath and Labyrinth. When
Mm,
Rage,
those, or was it
yeah,
Rage and
yeah,
Labyrinth? And when I saw them, I was like,
oh.
damn, girl, like you
yes.
took it out of my soul.
You wanna hear a little lore about the Labyrinth card?
Please.
I made that card with, like, 103 fever. Like, that card is literally a fever dream.
Oh my
I knew
God,
it.
that's cool.
I knew because I
Like,
connected to it so she put it down and I was like, "Yes,
I lo
yes,
yeah, I
you
would
put a piece of your soul in that."
probably, like, around this time last year, I had the flu really bad, and I was just, like, not okay, and I was just making the deck with the flu.
Like,
Oh my god.
I just need a distraction. It's
And
all
no days
good.
off.
But you know what? It was worth it because literally it's such a gorgeous deck. And we're gonna
Mhm.
talk a little bit more about it later. But
Yeah.
literally Abby showed them to me today and I'm
Yeah.
just like, they are stunning, and you can
Thank
tell that you
you.
put so much honor and love into each and every card.
God,
Mhm.
So thank you so much, and thank you for joining us today.
thank
Um,
me.
Today we're just gonna be sipping on some tea and asking some questions. So we're gonna take water breaks. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna
Mhm.
ask the most random questions and most likely not stay on topic. Um, but I'm
That's
so excited,
conversation, you know?
right?
We're bopping around, it's a good conversation.
Exactly, and it's Venus Day, so, like, this
Yes.
is a version of self-care, self-love, and establishing, like, just the love that we have for our feminine energy, and what
I
better
love
way to do that than to converse with 3 incredible feminine individuals
Period.
and just talking about shit. I
hell
think that's
yeah.
perfect.
Hell yeah.
Abby, did you wanna start with your question?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. The first question I wanted to ask, because I was like, I feel like you're such a good reader, like your videos on Instagram. Oh my God, they're so good. T.
They
How did you first like begin reading tarot for the public?
Mm. So, it's so funny, I was just thinking about this the other day. There is this witch, her name is Sophie St. Thomas, and she's an
Mhm.
author, and I'm in New York City, and she's in New York City, and she used to throw these, like, parties where she would do, like sometimes she did, like, rituals, she did, like, a black
Oh
mass, sometimes
yeah.
she would burlesque and, like, flogging and, like, I don't know, she was, like, throwing these parties, and I was going to them, and I was like, "This is really cool." I had kinda just moved to Brooklyn, and I was, like, trying to find a witch
Yeah.
community, and she just, like, put an ad on Instagram and was like, "I need a tarot reader for an event." And I had been reading for clients at that point, but not for,
Okay.
like, public, you know? Been
Yeah.
reading for
Mhm.
people here and there, like a friend of a friend, you know? So, like, I was
Okay.
comfortable reading for people, and I had been reading tarot in general for, like, a number of years, but, that was, like, my first, like, public event, and I remember just being like, "I don't think I'm gonna get this, but I'm gonna apply," and, like, I
Yeah.
yeah, doing it, and it was cool, and I, like, did those parties for a little bit and then transitioned into doing other things. I kind of realized I don't wanna read for drunk people, so,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Really.
things you
Yeah.
learn. That's
You
kinda how
get 2 extremes, either, like, bawling your eyes out or
Mhm,
trying to, like, pick up the cards and read themselves.
Mhm.
So I get
I'm the
totally.
it.
same.
Yeah.
Like everybody when I tell them, I'm like, I'm moving to New Orleans and they're like, oh, you gonna like work at a witchy shop, read tarot? I'm like, no, I'm not reading for a bunch of drunk people. Hell
Yeah,
no.
no, I get it.
Hell no.
Well, I think New Orleans has, like, a similar thing. It's super, super different, but also similar to Salem where, like, there's, like,
It's
some
a
spiritual
Southern
tourism,
Salem.
and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, it's, like well, there is a really intensity to, like, reading for spiritual tourism, like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm done because, like, we don't have that really in New York, but, like, the best way I can, like, equate it is sometimes I read for at a friend of mine, she has a shop in Fire Island, which is, like, a little island off of Long Island,
Yeah.
and, like, you're just when you're just kind of, like, doing more of commodity readings, like, it
Mhm.
is a very different vibe, and, like,
Yes.
nice sometimes, but definitely not my, like, favorite type of event or favorite type of
Yeah.
client, so, like, it's like it's a really fair boundary to be like, I'm not gonna be, like, sitting in a shop in New Orleans, but I'm so excited for you that you're moving. I love New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I am so excited too. She's going to thrive. That
Yeah.
is home for her. And so I am
Best
literally that journey is going to be 10 out of 10 and I'll have a nice place to stay whenever I visit.
It's a special
So
place, sure.
I have
Mhm.
never been, and so, next month will be the first time I'm going, the first time I'm visiting her, and it's gonna be
So
yeah, and so we are going to it's an entire week of just nonstop go, and when I say nonstop go, I mean, like, in the morning, we'll walk around, we'll go get food, we'll go take a nap, and then come back out and
Yeah.
go get some lunch, and then go take a nap, and then, like, sightsee a
Mhm.
little bit, but
yeah,
yeah, we're super excited.
that's
Um,
great. Only been once, but, like, I it was one of my favorite places I've ever been, and, like, the food is
Oh
so
my
good.
god, yeah. For real. That's the best part.
I wanna do the touristy beignet, okay? I was like,
Yeah.
"Please, I just want a beignet, and then you could take me anywhere. We could frolic
Totally,
everywhere." Ugh.
totally.
So I know when I was, pretty much the best way to say is when I was researching you, 'cause that's literally what I did.
Yeah.
One of the podcast episodes you sent me, with Angelica, which 10 out of 10. Oh my gosh. Angelica is literally
She's the best.
Queen.
insanely amazing. And
She
so when I was listening, she go ahead, go ahead.
No, you got I'm like, we could talk about how great Angelica
Yeah,
is.
literally, I was like, "Oh my god, we'll take turns talking about" no, but it was such a beautiful representation of how we build our foundation as witches and, like, the complexities of what it looks like. And so everyone's is so different. Everyone's aha moment, everyone's moment where they're like, "Oh, okay, like, I wanna do this for the rest of my life. I wanna dedicate to these deities for the rest of my life." And what do you think is your aha moment,
Mm,
when you are coming into? Because I hate to use the term, like, jumping into witchcraft because it's a process, it's a
totally.
journey, but when was the moment that you kind of, like, looked and felt like, "Okay, like, this is my space?"
Mm. That's a really good question. I feel like it's hard to pinpoint a single moment because I think from my I've always like I've always felt called to magical
Yeah,
things. I've always resonated with the energy of the witch and like I just feel like when I started actually practicing spell work and knew this was a thing that people did, like it was almost like of course there's like a little awkwardness at first where you're like, what am I doing? But like
Mhm.
but
I feel
do I cleanse first and after? I don't know.
yes,
Yeah.
like all these little and then like I think I mentioned this on Angelica's podcast too, but just like my parents are like crazy about
Yeah.
candles, like unscented candles, and like just
Yeah.
like that was like the biggest like doing magic because my
Yeah.
parents were like, stop burning candles. They didn't even care I was doing witchcraft. But like, just like I think as soon as I really got into it and was like actually like doing magic, I was just like, oh, this just feels so natural and this just feels so right.
Yeah.
And I think I just continued and continue to this day to like have those experiences where I'm just like, I can't imagine not having this be a part of my life or, like, not being able to, like, be in this space and, like, I spend a lot of time thinking about how, like, non-magical practitioners just, like, get through life. I'm like, how are you going
Yeah.
with no
Yeah.
protections? No you okay?"
Literally. Yeah. Like, is everything okay? Like, do you
Literally.
need to seek medical attention? Because your crown right now, I can't. Yeah. No, that's hilarious. No, that I think that is I love how you gave yourself the opportunity to kind of make mistakes and try these different things and experience what it looks like for trial and error. I think that's such an intimidating thing when it comes
Me
to
too.
practitioners early on because there's so many books. There's so many
Yeah.
to-dos, not to-dos. You go on TikTok now and it's like Mercury retrograde, you shouldn't do this or else
Yeah.
like your
Yeah.
hair will fall off and your toes will fall off. And there's that
No.
stigma when it comes to making mistakes as a witch or not going on the right path. And so I sincerely appreciate your authenticity when it comes to
Yeah.
going into this journey because it
Mm,
is messy and it's also like
Yeah,
weird and awkward until you find that thing and you're like, "Oh, oh, this is nice."
mm,
really. And I will say, like, because I started practicing so young, like, I'm so grateful to be able to have had my beginning experiences with magic not on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, that
yeah.
I think was such a for me. And like, yeah, I think for anyone who's trying to get into magic now, like it is I mean, at the time it was overwhelming, there's a lot of books and stuff too, but, like, I just think the internet really floods us with so much information, and I think that can be such a blessing too, but for me and, like, how I am and how my brain is, I'm grateful that I was able to start analog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. You like you put like the wrong candle and you just look left and right, be like, "Oh, nobody saw me. It's okay.
Nobody
Clean up, you're
knows.
fine." Yep. Like, no, I get it. Ugh.
So I wanted to ask you, I know you have a relationship with Hades and Persephone just because I know you a little bit. But I just
Yeah.
wanted to know, like, what was it like when you first started with them? Were they your first, or like, did you already have experience with other deities?
Yeah, so actually the first deity that I started working with was Lilith. And that was like a really interesting experience that I still find to be really different than a lot of other deity experiences that I have. I find goddesses and feminine deities to be really mysterious. And I think
Yeah.
that obviously like that like for sure, but like with Lilith, it was this really like primal, like, it didn't really feel like how it feels to work with other deities. Like, it almost didn't
Yeah.
feel like a deity, it felt like an archetype that I was stepping into, and I
Yeah.
do have that experience with a lot of feminine deities that I work with as well. So, Hades and Persephone were not my first. I started working with Hades first and was probably
Okay.
working with Hades a year before I started working with Persephone, actually.
Hmm.
Um, and it's funny because I think I've heard this story from a lot of Hades and Persephone practitioners that, like,
Towards
Hades kind
Persephone.
Yeah, like, Hades kind of, like,
Same.
reaches out to you, and you're like, "Okay, hi, Persephone," and she's just, like, silent. Like
Yeah, she's just like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like you feel like yourself in her so much you can't like connect to her. It's hard.
Yes,
Like, yeah.
is such a thing, and I for, like, a very brief moment had a podcast, and I did a podcast episode about that, like,
Really? Oh my
explaining
god.
Yeah,
So what
you
I'm hearing is that we need another episode solely on Hades and Persephone. That's I don't that's
well,
all I heard.
totally
Okay.
do
Okay,
like,
cool. So we're putting that okay.
absolutely, I would love that. But yeah, just this experience of like that I think a lot of Hades and Persephone devotees have where like they are Persephone and they have these experiences and that it's hard to almost kind of commune with her because she is such a mirror.
Mhm.
But I think like that my relationship with her has grown a lot. It is still that thing one of those things that I do feel like there's still a lot of mystery around her for me, but I think that's a big part of the work that we do together is like
Yeah.
being able that mystery and also being able to sit in that silence, 2 things that are, like, not natural for me, so, like, it makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. But when Hades first came in, like, I don't even I was thinking about this earlier, like, when I was looking at some of the questions you guys sent me, and I was just like, I don't remember the exact moment that he came in, but it was just, like, again, like, all these little moments, all these little signs, and I was just like,
Mhm.
"Okay," and, like, I just started about him and, like, my experience working with Hades, like, he is the warmest, most generous, kindest deity that I have and I think will ever experience. Like, like,
Yeah.
he's
I
his
completely agree.
like,
Yeah.
he's just, like, so full of love,
Yeah, he's
and
a teddy bear. I agree.
right? Like, he's just
Yeah.
yeah, he's just the best. I just have so much love for Hades, and, yeah, it's just so funny because like, his lore is, like, so opposite that, but that's, like, the
I
joke.
know,
All of us, like,
right?
Yeah, he is the
"No."
king of mystery. And he is the unknown. And so it's like everyone's like, he's so scary, he's so scary. And then when Abby comes and she talks to me, she's like, man just loves love, man. He also loves chocolate. So I'm gonna get him a
Yeah.
brownie. And I'm like, Queen, okay, I get
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Do you
He does love
awesome.
love. That's
I didn't
funny.
hear what you said.
I
Oh,
said
I
he
was asking
does
if
love
you
love. Oh, sorry.
No, no, you
Oh my oh
I
my
know which one of
gosh,
us you
Abby.
talking to. Girl, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
We're so used to it just being us, so we'll be like, yo, what did you say?
Yeah, like,
totally.
what did you say?
No, I was just asking Kim if you also work with Hades and Persephone because obviously I know Abby does.
Yes, so I don't work with hate. Okay. I yeah, I run away from deities a lot sometimes because I know that it just means another change in my life. So I'm currently building my devotion to Santa Muerte.
I
And
love
so I'm a devotee to Santissima, and I work with Hecate, and Aphrodite. And I do also venerate Apollo and Artemis. And
you got a
Hestia.
roster. You got a
Yeah.
roster.
And
Yeah,
yeah, I
she
do.
do.
I do. And I think that is the beauty of polytheism, of just like
Mhm.
having that space and that ability to have this, because the way in which I'm learning how to devote is to have an establishment of gratitude. For I
Mm,
wake up in the morning and that sun is shining, I'm like, wow, like, thank you, Lord Apollo. Like, thank you for
yeah,
because I connect with you, you are making me notice these things that I usually take for granted.
that's
Yeah.
Hestia, my belly is full, my fridge is full. Holy shit, I'm abundant. And I thank you for the
mhm,
harmony in my home. And so coming out of a very Christian mindset and deconstructing that, was a bit of a challenge, especially now working with Holy Death. That
mhm,
was in
yeah,
every movie, it's like, "Oh my god, she's a spooky, spooky girl, evil, ew," and, like, I literally her robe is in pink, and she has pink
mhm.
carnations around her, and I literally sing Material Girl by Madonna and Barbie Girl to her
I
when I
love
wake up in the morning, and so it's like, for me, I'm learning my devotional practice is really the foundation is gratitude. And like because of you guys, I'm noticing these different parts of myself. And that's only gonna get better, even in the shitty days and in those moments where I
it.
can't really find a piece of gratitude. Me getting to come home and light your candle and talking to you and making your coffee and like playing with the toys on your
Mhm. You
altar,
feel
like
less
that in and of
alone.
itself.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yep,
Yeah,
I love my roster. We
love
ain't
that.
growing it for a while. So, like, Hades and Persephone, I honor them through Abby.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
okay right now. I got a minivan. I'm good.
I'm a
Um,
medium. Touch my hand.
yeah,
We'll connect.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
connect you.
Literally, she's like, "Okay, do you?" And I'm like, "Okay, thank you. I'm good now." I'll pull cards for her, and I'm like, "All right, that energy is a little too much right now. I'm gonna send that back your way."
that's
So no.
Mm.
I know that when I listened to the podcast, I know you spoke about your religious background and how open your mother and your parents were of really like allowing you to establish your own belief system.
yeah,
And I also know that for Abby and I, we've had these conversations about like the deconstruction of Christian dogma or religious dogma when coming into spaces like this. How do you
totally.
feel like you navigate those conversations, even with other people or even sometimes with yourself in your practice?
Yeah. Um, I think it's definitely something that, like, a lot of my magical mentorship clients, like, come to me about, and it
Yeah.
is often, like, the root of a lot of the other blocks that they're experiencing are all within this idea of dogma, whether that's, like, from a specific religion or it's just from, like, white supremacy and capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Like, this
Yeah.
idea things have to be done a certain way, and I'm a chaos witch, so I don't believe that, like, so I
Yeah.
think just, like,
Same.
you know,
Yeah.
I think obviously I think integrity and your values are the
Yeah.
rules that you should be following. Um, and obviously, like, doing things that align with yeah, just like your boundaries as a magical
Yeah.
practitioner. But I think that for me, I think when I see that come up, I do see it come up in the way that I'm expressing where it's like all part of this one terrible wound on humanity, right? Like, let's call it
Yeah.
capitalism, call it religious extremism, let's call it white supremacy, let's call it colonization, right? Like all of
Call a
that.
whole bunch of old men that are trying to control all these things that they should not be controlling and they need to shut the fuck
Exactly.
up.
Exactly. So to me, it doesn't when I feel that, I don't necessarily always identify it with religious conditioning because I didn't have that
Okay.
experience. But I think that those things are one and the same. So I think like when I feel that come up for myself, I just have to remind myself that like my practice is here to meet me wherever I may be and like there's no one watching that's going to get mad at me and there's no one that's
Yeah.
cancel me, like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
There's like,
I'm not gonna be smited today.
yes, like, this is
That's a tomorrow issue.
like, this is just me alone and,
Yeah.
me and my connection to spirit and, like, that there's nothing that can go wrong in my
Yeah.
practice, and I think that that's something that takes trust and faith and also just experience to build, because I think the more time that you practice and the more comfortable you feel with your practice, the bigger that voice is and the smaller the other voices are.
Yeah.
So I would say that's
That's
how I
so true.
approach it when it comes to me. But with other people, it's tricky, right? Because I do understand what that looks like, but I haven't had that, like, super deep personal experience with it. I think my most intense personal times in which I felt this, like, dogma coming up was, like, and is still, like, within deity work and, like, this, like, a very, like, transactional energy that I think a lot of
Yeah.
us get into with our deities, and, like, it's just a constant reminder that, like, it's not like that, and that it doesn't need to be like that, and it shouldn't be like that, and the thought that it should be is doesn't resonate with the thing that I'm practicing or the thing that I value.
Yeah.
Um, and I think for other people that I talk to that this comes up in either, like, clients or, like, just readings or magical mentorship, I really try to just, like, express the freedom that magic can bring you and also just, like, emphasize that it is something that you are centered in your practice. Like, you are the one that can kind of create the boundaries for yourself, and that's something that I always kind of, like, sometimes I'll work with people, like, long term as, like, magical mentorship, like, for a couple months, and one of the first things that I always ask them is, like, "What are your magical boundaries? Like, what is just a no for you? What does, like, not feel right? What do you not feel called to? What do you feel called to?" And I think, like, giving yourself that agency to be like, "This is what is good and this is what isn't good for me." Good's not a right word, but, like, this is what is aligned and this is what
Yeah.
resonates with you, like, makes people feel that sense of control, and I think
Yeah.
the more that we can, like, hack ourselves into being the control voice rather than someone else's voice, like, the more we can move through that, if that makes sense.
That's a
Oh,
great
no,
way
that
to
makes,
put
like,
it.
so much sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That resonated so deeply because, I mean, that is the fear of just, like, even specific to deity worship of like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't light their candle today. I didn't
Yeah.
give them anything. I am a terrible devotee. They hate me now." And that
Yep.
self-doubt of like, I need to give in order to show that I am loving and I love them and I have gratitude, where as you start to unlearn that practice, it's like, no, I love them. I honor them through waking up every single day and doing these different things. It doesn't have to look a certain way. Um, and I think that that's so amazing that you remind your mentees about that because, again, with this kind of structure of social media and all these different platforms of like, what are altars supposed to look like? What
Mhm.
is devotion supposed to look like? And also like the capitalism of it all of like, you need this specific oil or
Yeah.
this specific statue or this specific thing. It's really, really refreshing to see that in these moments of mentorship there's more of a focus on how can you change your foundation in order to fit your practice instead of having or how do you change your foundation and then fit your practice around this instead
Yeah.
of how do you fit yourself into that foundation and that practice. I think that that's
Yeah.
so so important to have that difference. So like that's awesome and thank you for that because as
Yeah.
someone who has had a difficult time with mentorship and has been pulled from left and right, it's really refreshing to see that. Um
I'm so glad to hear that.
Queen. Oh,
Yeah, like, I feel like hearing you repeat that back too, I'm just like, that is fully what I believe is that, like, our practice is meant to, like, I think I said it before, but, like, meet us wherever we're at. Like, it's
yeah.
meant to, like, morph around us and with us and change. And with that, like, especially around deity, like, I've had so many experiences where I worked with deity for a long time and now I don't work with them anymore, Lilith
Yep.
being one of them. And I think that also teaches you too that, like, that's natural and that's part of some people's practices. And, like, there is, like, change is the only constant. And I think that's what magic is always getting us comfortable with is the natural life and death cycle, right? And, like, there is going to be times when deity is not around anymore. And that's not because you did something wrong or something bad. It's just like the work that
Because
you
you're
were doing
changing.
has changed and you've
Mhm.
changed. And I think when you have a practice that grows with you and follows you through life, that is something that is a really beautiful perspective that is a little bit more palatable than when you're just getting started, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. No,
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. That's awesome.
Yeah, speaking of deities,
Grammars.
like, being on, like, a not like a rotation, but I guess you could say that if you're polytheist. What deities are you working with right now for I know you have a glamour practice. Like, if you could choose one, like, who would you work with for a glamour, like,
That's good.
ritual?
You know, it's so interesting because I feel like in my glamour specifically, I actually don't work with deity. I mostly just work with
Really?
like
I
my own.
like that. I like that.
And deity work, so this work that I was doing with Lilith, I want to say I was already practicing for like 5 years at that point. So like I like really like the beginning of my practice was really not connected to deity whatsoever. And I'm like, as I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, actually, that was kind of like
Yeah.
it's informed as well. I was just kind of like, oh, that's what magic is like, not having a god, or like just working with
Yeah.
the universe, really what I would work with.
Right.
And recently, I've really been feeling called to go back to that. And my relationship with my deities is changing and is shifting. And it's a little uncomfortable, but it's also like
Yeah.
exciting. And like, I'm like, okay, what is this new chapter? So right
Mhm.
now, I think that every time that spring comes around, especially as an Aries and a Persephone devotee, I feel Persephone really closely. So it's nice to feel that pull towards her again. Cause in the winter, she does kind of go quiet for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Your Aries
and
sun
me
too?
and I am Aries. I have Aries
Me
stellium.
too. Me
She does
too.
too.
Oh my
Oh my god. That's crazy.
god.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Before, like, I think it was yesterday when we were like talking and setting everything up, she was like, Kim, you have no idea. Like, we have so many similarities. And if it comes up, I have to tell her. I'm like, you tell her, baby, because that's so true.
That's so
We do.
funny.
Even, like, your love for vintage, like, I'm such a vintage lover, like,
Oh
like,
my
I
god,
really do,
so
like, we're kindred spirits, Abby, we are.
and you're a
That's awesome.
designer,
That
aren't
makes me so
you?
happy.
Aren't you a
What'd
designer?
you say?
Aren't you a
Yeah, my
designer?
day job is style designer.
Oh my gosh, I would love to do that. That sounds so
Okay,
fun.
a side question. Do you
Yeah.
feel like as a designer, do you establish certain pieces based on astrology or
Mm,
based on magic, or do you feel like it's more of a separate kind of passion for you?
I am not I work for a company, so I'm not, like, in charge enough to be able to do that.
Yeah. No, I
But
get it, I get it.
if I was like, a lot of textile designers do their own thing and, like,
Yeah.
freelance. I would totally do that if I was doing that, but no, I actually really like being able to just, like I love my job and it's a passion of mine for sure, but, like, my real passion is magic and, like, getting to
Mhm.
create, like, my deck and work with my clients, so it's really nice to be able to just, like, go be creative, but, like, for something totally separate from my own creative, like, pulls,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and go home and get to still have that, like, creative reserve to focus on my own stuff because it's so different, like, it's different enough, you know?
It's the
Right.
temperance card. It's the
Really.
harmony and the balance between the 2. So, no, I get that so much. Yeah, I always, like I think of it as, like, we're witches that just have, like, human jobs sometimes. Like, we gotta put our
Yeah,
skin suit
true.
on real quick and, like, do
I
our
love my
go,
mindless
like, work our
job.
9 to 5 real quick. Yeah,
I
literally.
love my mindless
I'm I'm a teacher. Mine isn't too mindless,
Yeah,
but
you're doing a
yeah.
real
Yeah, but it is nice.
teacher, like, like, your cadence and just the way that you, like, communicate, like, I feel
You
like
can
I would love
tell.
to have you as a
See, I'm a
Yeah.
high school teacher, so I get to just be like, "Ew, go away," and, they won't cry. I love my they
thing.
make me happy every single day, so I completely understand of having those separate passions and, like, almost having that reserve of, like, when I
Yeah,
go to work, I'm expressing a different joy, and then when it's time to go home, then I still have the time and capacity to express this joy, and so that's really, really cool.
and I also, like, am such a firm believer that, like, as spiritual people having, like, a human experience, like, we are meant to have a human experience, and, like, as
Yeah.
much as I wanna be in ritual gnosis 24/7. I know that's not the point of, like, why my soul is here, and also
Yeah.
I know it's good for my mental health. Like, I think it's really good that there's a really long time that I wanted my witchy business to be my full-time job, and maybe at some point, I would want that for the future, but for right now, it feels really nice to get to fulfill these
Yeah.
dual passions of mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
once I'm in my crone energy, like, once I
Yeah.
establish, because there's some lessons your girl needs to learn
Yeah.
first. I can't go full time yet. There's still some lessons that are they're there. So I get it. Yeah, I totally get it. Um, and so I also I did have a question. I have so many questions, and now I'm like, okay. So I know we talked a little bit about the amazing opportunity that a lot of I feel like we all kind of had of establishing our practice before we became like more public with our practice.
Yeah.
How do you kind of combat now that you are more of a public figure, now that you are engaging in spaces where there are a lot of listeners and a lot of people that are engaging with you? How do you combat that like self-doubt and imposter syndrome that comes with it? Because it's such a different beast being a witch online and being a witch in more social spaces when
Yeah.
there is always that energy of like, "Oh, well, why did you do that? What is this? What are your certifications?" And just to be able to like,
Right.
that's literally how it is. How do you maintain that foundation of like, "Nope, this is who I am."
That's a really interesting question. Like, when you sent me the questions and I read that, I was like, "Am I a witch in public space? I guess I am." Like, I know I feel that way, but, like, I guess it's true. Like, I am very public about my magic, and I
Yeah.
do like, I'm public about my magic, right? And, like, that like, I have a witchy business, so I guess it's true, but,
It was
um,
yeah. When I wrote it, I was like, "This is for me." I was like, "I must know. I need
That's
help."
funny.
okay, so I think that a big thing that comes to mind is that, and it's kind of similar to what I was kind of getting into before about like just magic in general, of just like once you do something enough times, you can kind of like build the faith through evidence for yourself.
Yeah.
So I think like there have been so many times where I've, like, posted something on Instagram and I'm like, "That's stupid. Everybody knows this already. Like, this is the most basic thing I could ever say."
Yeah.
And then a bunch of people will be like, "Oh my god, this is so interesting," or like, "This is like, I got something from this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And, like, I don't know, I definitely am the type of person that sometimes thinks like, "Yeah, everybody knows this," Like, and then they don't. And
You're
Same.
like,
I think
"Oh, okay."
right. So I think like just one, like just like kind of making yourself do it and then like getting that feedback. But I think like internally, with my deck being like out now, right? Like that I like feel like I was feeling so good about it. And then right before it came out, I was like, oh my God, what if I get canceled? What if everyone hates it? What if, I just started
Yeah.
spiraling about it a little bit. And I just kind of had to just like talk about it with my therapist and just be like, if that happens, then I'll, like, figure it out then. And, like, that's, like, not something that works when you're, like, in an
Yeah.
anxious mindset, so it's, like, I feel like I I guess I don't really have an answer because I feel like it's a constant
It's
navigation. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that thing is just, like, to have someone who can, like, help you with the mental health aspect of
Yeah.
that, whether that's, like, a therapist or, like, friends or family, and I think also just to, like I think a big thing that I do in my life is just like I just don't take myself that seriously, and whenever I feel like I am taking myself too seriously, I just remind myself that that's not who I am, and that's also like I think for me sometimes I get imposter syndrome around like I don't have enough, like, occult knowledge to back this up or, like, like, this
Yeah.
historic knowledge, and then I have to
Yeah.
remind myself, like, there are people who that's their thing, and, like, that's not my thing, and that's not why people are coming to me and wanting to hear from me, like, I am a creative chaos witch, and, like, that's my thing, and that's the lens in which I see the world and that I communicate through my practice, and I think just, like, knowing who you are and, like, saying that that's okay, and, like, that you
Yeah.
don't have to be everything, and you can't be everything, so
And
Mhm.
wisdom comes in different forms. Wisdom
yeah,
isn't always having the A through Z knowledge. Sometimes wisdom is literally having that firsthand experience. So that
totally.
is that you are wise in those spaces because that is how you show your knowledge and that's how you show your attention to your craft.
Yeah,
And I think it was so important how you kind of talked a little bit about like the importance of mental health. I think sometimes we when we go into any practice, there is that chance and of psychosis or of kind of floating a little too far into the sky. And so
Yep,
to be able to have that establishment of like a really strong mental support system to ensure that like yeah, some things are spiritual, some things are those deep connections, and other things are just like mundane anxiety
yeah,
and spaces where we need to ground ourselves and become more connected to our bodies now in order for us to keep doing that work. So that's really I appreciate that you talked about that a little bit because that is so important. Um
totally,
and it's
and
something we forget.
yeah, I'm like I feel like I'm really, like, vigilant about, like, spiritual
Yeah. Oh
Me
my god,
too.
same.
I'm
I'd be like,
like,
I'm laughing out I'm laughing out loud right now. Wait a minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
feel like
yeah.
very, very discerning with the people that I learn from and the sources that I learn from,
mhm,
and I think that it's very important to align yourself with information with people that share your values and share not always like your worldview, but to some extent your paradigm, right? Like there's
Yeah.
just certain things that are just not part of my paradigm. And for me, feel like they could lead me into spiritual psychosis. And for someone else, that's fine. Like that's not like their thing, you know? But I think like it is really scary and it is something we really need to be aware of. And like I do think that's another blessing of like not learning magic from TikTok,
Mhm. Oh,
but
yeah.
it is a very real thing. And it's also something that I feel yeah, I feel really passionate about, like, just, like, making sure that, like, me and, like, the people around me that I know spiritually and, like, my clients, like, I'm always trying to ground them. I have a Mercury in Taurus and I have a Mars in Virgo, so I'm super fiery, but
Yeah.
I have a lot of earth, and I
Yeah,
often
and it keeps
from,
you
I get from a lot of people, like, a lot of clients and stuff, like, I get a lot of feedback of, like, "Oh, like, you're so spiritual, but you're also so grounded," and I think like, part of that is just, like, these natural placements that I have, but I
yeah.
also feel like I try really hard, like I was saying before, to be like, I am a human person that is also
Yes.
super spiritual. I'm not like, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, you're
I'm
we're
not
not floating in the outer realm, like,
exactly.
we still have to learn these lessons in this body that we're in right now, and
Yeah,
that's so important. Yeah, I
and
agree.
really hard. Like, being in my body is really hard. I'm a person that has chronic illness, you know? So, like, that's
Yeah,
really hard. And I know that's, like, a lesson of my life, right?
yeah.
So, I think yeah, it's hard, but it's necessary.
yeah. Okay, I wanna, like, take a whole different turn with this. So,
Oh, I'm so excited.
what's your favorite placement in your chart? And then, like, I'm curious, because I know you are really into astrology, right?
I'm into it. I'm going to NORWAC this year, which is like the astrology conference. So,
Ooh, that sounds
That
so
is amazing.
fun. Well, I'm curious
That
as
is
to what
amazing.
your favorite placement is for yourself, but, like, what's, like, a cool placement you see in other people too?
ooh, that's a really good question. So, okay, I will say I love astrology. I feel astrology is definitely a place I feel a lot of imposter syndrome. Even though I use astrology with my clients, like I don't
Mhm.
do full on astrology readings, but like I like to use it with tarot and with like
Yeah.
Yes.
especially for my mentorship clients that I like know on a personal level that they're like, this is what's going wrong in my life. And I'm like, well, it's happening in your chart and let's pull tarot on it. Like I love to use it cohesively. Um, but like, I feel like when I'm thinking about specific placements, I'm like, it's hard for me to identify what in someone else I would think is like a placement that I really love. Let me think on that for a second. I think for
Yeah.
myself, I was looking at my chart earlier and I was thinking about this
Mhm.
question and I was like, I mentioned earlier that I have like two kind of major earth placements of like the
Yeah.
Mercury in Taurus and the Mars in Virgo. And I think that because I'm a triple fire and I have an Aries stellium. So I'm a Sag rising. And I'm like, why do I
I'm
have
also a Sag rising.
That's
ah,
funny.
I love that. I do
Yeah.
rising. So I'm a Sag rising, I'm a Leo moon, and I'm an Aries sun. And then I have a bunch of other stuff in Aries as well. So I'm very, very fiery. I have no water. So really like that I have those earth placements to just like make me like sit still and like ground
Yeah.
Yeah.
down. I also love that I have Pluto in the first house because I feel like I'm just like, let's get into it. Like,
Yeah.
let's really talk about some shit, you know? Like, let's
Yeah.
not.
I
I think
also have
especially
Pluto in the first house.
oh, yeah, because you're Sag rising and we're probably like same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
That's
no
cool.
clue. I wanna learn
Me too.
astrology.
I don't
I have
know a lot
literally
either.
Pluto is like a
Mhm.
generation planet. So anyone who is like in the same generation, I don't remember off the top of my head like how long it actually is. I want to say like 20 years or something. But like because we're both in the same 20-year generation, we would both have Pluto in Sag, and because we're both Sag rising, that would mean we both have Pluto in the first house. If you're
first house.
looking at
Okay.
Mm.
astrology, which is mostly what I look at. So, yeah, so I like that placement of mine. And then I think that with other people, I think anytime you have like something in domicile, like something in the sign that it wants to be in, like Venus
Mhm.
and Pisces or like Mars and Aries, like anything where like that placement's really happy. I think that that is like a really lovely thing. I also, and like this is so biased because like my partner has it, but like I do love a Taurus moon. I have a best friend
Aw.
and my we're both Taurus moons and like they're just so like in touch with their body in a way that I want to be and just like
Yeah.
really know like this is what I need, these are my boundaries and these are the things like I like have this much capacity and like I'm super aware of it and then like now I got to go and like be undercourt and like
Please.
I- the process of my life is like understanding my own capacity, and like
Yeah.
for a like Taurus moon like they just fucking know and they're also like I'm sorry I have to do this like I have to honor this, and I respect that, and I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay, this is a side note, side question.
Yeah.
What is what is a sign that you dislike? I want to say hate, but like you side eye the most.
I
What
don't
is a
know if
sign that you're like, hmm,
I think I know enough about astrology to not have that feeling about, like, a sun sign placement, but I could tell you a placement that I don't fuck with, which is Mars and
yes.
Pisces, which is happening right now.
Um, it is it is destroying me. Okay.
I don't
I'm
have a Mars and Pisces.
actively trying not to just throw up and cry in fetal position.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't love Mars and
Ugh,
Pisces because I don't love passive aggressiveness. I hate passive aggressiveness.
yes.
Not
I
my
hate it. Yeah.
my Aries stellium can't do it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
things that make people passive aggressive. Another thing that I would say that I don't love is I feel like that's honestly the only thing that's coming to mind. A Libra sun makes me weary, I will say.
I'm a
There
Libra
because
sun.
no, my partner is a Libra sun too, and I will
And signs.
my partner's a
Honestly,
Libra sun.
Okay, but
They're
I'm a Libra sun.
manipulative a
I'm a
little
cat
bit.
moon and yo.
I love y'all though. That's my sister sign.
I'm a Libra. I'm a Libra sun. I'm a cat moon. I'm a Sag rising. Do not
Ooh.
put me in the general population. Okay.
Yeah, that's a
that's
little
what
different.
I say. Also, like, it's so hard because again, like we're humans having a human experience.
Mhm.
It's so hard to be like, this person that fucked me over was because they were a Libra. Like, no,
Mhm.
it's because
Oh,
of
All
I
their
do that.
Libras
I don't
are
care.
evil.
All, I do it
They're
all the
all
time.
evil.
Cancer
All of them.
men. Ugh.
that's I can't. I take it back. I retract. I
No,
take it
no. I support you because I'm literally like, ew. No, I get it. I do it too. I'm so biased. I'm like, ew.
back. I just think sometimes a Libra sun can tell you what you want to hear and they are very charming. And then later on, you're just like, well, you said this. And there's not always the follow through. But I think with your Cap moon,
Yes.
I believe you have the follow through.
Oh, no, 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 no. I agree wholeheartedly. That is why this certain retrograde right now is destroying me to my core. Boundaries
Hilarious.
are not a good thing for me. And so I'm learning that I have to follow through.
Yeah.
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 And I'm
Mm.
I'm learning my lessons.
You're learning your lessons. You are. I mean, this is the time. Eclipse season, Mercury retrograde. Like, this is the time to learn the lessons.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm
You
learning it.
said that you
Fetal
liked
position.
Mars and Aries. I have a Mars and Aries too. So like what is but I feel like how is that good though? Because I still feel like it's kind of volatile. You know what I
It
mean?
is. I wouldn't say I particularly like the placement of Mars and Aries, but more so what I'm saying is that like Mars rules Aries. So
So
Mhm.
when
when
they're together.
so when you have a planet in the sign that it rules, it's really happy there, and so it's like, whereas like Mars and Pisces like really unhappy placement. So there's like all this
Yeah.
like
Oh.
darkness to it, you know? So it's not necessarily saying that it's, like, better or worse, it's just, like, it's more comfortable. So it's like, yes, you might be volatile, but also you're not, like, suppressing your anger, I bet. You know?
Yeah,
Like, have this, like, more
ain't no
healthy expression.
suppression.
No.
There's, like, always other things that are going on and stuff too. So, it's
Yeah.
like, it's really hard to kind of look at things. I think that's one of the hardest things with astrology is
That
that, like,
makes
Yeah.
sense.
picture, and it's hard to look at the full picture because you need a lot of
Mhm.
information.
So
And
would
I
that,
don't
like, be the opposite of something that's, like, in detriment? If it's, like, in the same Okay,
Yeah.
so my Venus is in detriment in Aries.
yeah, mine too. But I like
Womp
my Venus,
womp. Okay,
like,
yeah,
I
me too. Okay. Yeah, because
like
Angelica was like, "Do you wear, like, your makeup as, like, a shield in a way?" And I was like, "Oh, for sure.
It's like,
For sure."
I need you to calm down, please."
that's interesting. That's so funny. I didn't know that she was saying that, but I do
Yeah, it was,
feel
like, on
like
a live or something.
yeah, I do feel
Mhm.
like when I put makeup on, I feel like not even like intentionally, like not even like doing glamour or anything, but sometimes I'll just be like so tired and I'll put makeup on and I'll be like, I'm ready for the world. And I wonder if that is a Venus
Yeah.
and Aries
Me
thing.
too. Like,
It
I took
has
a
to be
shot of
because
espresso or something. I'm like,
yes.
"What?
I
Yes.
love
And,
that.
like,
That's
she's like,
Crazy."
she feels more authentically herself on the guest
Mhm.
hmm
queen. Yeah.
yeah, and it doesn't even have to be a lot of makeup. Like it could literally
Right.
just a little lipstick and I'm like, still,
Mhm.
like I'm good,
Love how
you know?
our
Like,
lipstick
holy
is, like, even almost the same.
yeah. Mhm. Oh my god. I'm loving this.
I
Okay, so
love
we
it.
have about, like, maybe time for one more question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, Abby, did you wanna ask another question, or did you want me to ask another
Let me
question?
I wanna okay, yeah. Ooh, we should end on this one. I
Okay.
want you to tell us about the fortune card because I know we talked about it
Yeah.
a little bit.
I have it because in my computer is well, you know what? I can just take it out of the deck because I have it here, but it's, like, on
Mhm.
my Hades altar, which is
Yeah.
the behind my computer right now, but essentially, I will pull it up and we can, like, talk about the artwork, but yeah, like, in my
Yes.
deck, this is the card that, like, I made for Hades, and, like, I was just like, there's gotta be one just for him, and
Mhm.
I will show it to you.
It's
So,
so
yeah, I just
pretty.
feel like it's very, like there's a lot of things here that, are like the playing cards, like I use playing
Yeah.
cards to talk to him sometimes, but also like the darkened mirror, and the spider web.
Mhm.
I just feel like there's all these things, the clock, the skull, even like this like fortune dancing and it like
I
she's like
love
dancing
it.
the
It gives
It's
me,
globe and
like,
so
this
stunning.
hedonistic vibe, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like,
oh,
oh,
Oh
I
my
love
god, that's so
glamorous.
I'm a sucker for the pomegranates.
Me
yeah, of
too.
course
Like,
gotta
yeah.
be there's like a million pomegranates in this deck, honestly, but
Yes.
I just like wanted to create an aesthetic in this card that I felt like would be a space that he would dwell in or would be represented
Yeah.
energy, especially
Yeah.
because like Hades as a deity is also like Hades as a space, right? Like he is like someone who occupies space and is of space, right? So I wanted to be like this card is like space in which he would be in, like through the colors and the motifs and things like that.
You
And
nailed
then
it.
thank
Yeah, it's
you. And at
gorgeous.
the beginning of the card, I could read it. Should I read it?
Yes, because I
Yes.
haven't even read it yet. I wanna know.
I'm like, what number is it? I forget. Hold on. I need to find
Very good.
it.
You
I
have a
put it back.
lot. I love how there's so many, like, literally,
Yes.
Yeah.
I usually, like, pull tarot for myself. I'm not good at tarot, like, for real at all. So when I got this, I was like, "This replaces all my tarot decks," because each thing, like,
There's so many.
like, the pictures in it, like, I have certain stuff like that around my room, and I'm like, "Well, this will be symbolic of this when this deity
Yeah.
wants this," and I'm like, "I can use this in a spell
Uh,
because this is on this," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
I love that because I really did create it with the intention of like being something and I say this in a lot of like the descriptions of the card of like use this in a spell, use this as a talisman. Like this can be its own thing for you to like use to call in space. Especially because I am like I know we talked a little bit about altars before, but I am such an altar witch, like I love like I
Me
love making a space, curating a space and like I wanted the cards in themselves to be their own little space that you can like
Yes.
if you don't
Yeah.
you're not good at doing that or you don't like doing that, it can be this thing that kind of brings in that energy, brings in that aesthetic, brings in that vibe of what you wanna,
They're
connect
like
to.
mini altars, literally. Like, especially the protection one, that is like a mini altar right there. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Thank you. Wait, let me show the protection one. Let me pop that one up.
Love it.
I
Like,
love
off
that one.
as my phone background because 'cause I'm like,
That's
it
literally
Yes.
that is literally what I told Abby. I was like, "These literally look like you can put it as your, like, background on your phone."
Mhm. They look like
totally
all my black background, but, like, but better. Like, I'm
Yes,
like, "Oh my god, this is my favorite kinda artwork." Like, seriously, I know we talked about that before. I love the, like,
off
'cause it's
well blended
intentional.
collage.
And it's
Mhm.
not
intentional pieces,
my
like, it's
way.
not just, like, we just mix and shuffle and hope for the best, like, you can
Yeah.
tell each card
Here's protection.
Ugh,
yes. Yeah. I love the
that is so
owl, like,
good.
Thank
which
you.
there's another one that you have,
This
I don't know
one
if
of my favorites.
it's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
mine
I don't know if
too.
it's guides or angels where you have a white owl at the
Oh,
top,
yes.
and
Messenger
that one
was
messenger, yes. That one is literally my favorite because
this
it's for something
Oh,
where there
I
an
love that
epithet or
one.
a connection of her is her owl, and so I saw it
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh,
that's so
yeah."
this is like my Hermes card. This is my card for Hermes.
Oh,
I
I love
love it. Oh,
that.
This is a little ode to you in here, or like this is an ode to like this energy kind
yeah.
of thing. Like
Yeah.
frenzy is the Dionysus card.
Oh
Oh,
my
yeah,
god.
100%,
Okay, so now when these
100%.
pop out, I'm like, "Y'all hear that? I'm
I'm
just
like,
making sure.
"Hi,
Y'all
Hermes.
pop
Hi,
out when y'all wanna
Dionysus."
say hey."
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm gonna read fortune. So fortune says various forms of divination and chthonic symbolism frame this card, creating a space of transformation. The card reminds us that energy is always shifting. Though our fate may have predetermined factors, our fortune can always change. The saying, fortune favors the bold, reminds us that we have the free will to interact with our fate in a way that brings us agency and opportunity. The raven and the pomegranate represent wisdom and prophecy. When you pull this card, be open to sudden shifts. You may think that something is set in stone, only for that stone to disappear. Accept the cards as they are dealt, remembering that change itself is the only constant. So when I was writing this and thinking about Hades, it's like, I think that Hades is someone that I go to, and a lot of practitioners go to, like, when something is going on. Like, you're like, I need advice, like he is the good counselor, right? He's
Mhm.
also many, like, he is very good at sitting with you and being patient with you as you work through these things that come up in life and humans are so uncomfortable with change,
Yeah.
and he's just so grounding and calming for that, but also, like, he is, like, connected to our fate, and he's very interested in, like, how we can use our free will, how we can use our agency, so I really wanted this card to kind of be like, what if the Wheel of Fortune was also like, if you pulled the Wheel of Fortune, but then Hades was with you and was like, "It's gonna be okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, "Hold my
Oh,
hand, hold my hand, hold my hand, let's
I
go."
love that so
Yeah.
much. It makes me wanna freaking cry because he lit that you
I
put
know,
it
ew,
so
I was getting, like,
perfectly.
emotional. I was like, "Oh, the free will."
I
He's
love that.
so that
Yeah.
way.
Are we ready for our siren songs?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, beautiful. Abby, are
I'll
you
s
starting or Emma, are you
yeah.
starting?
I'll start first.
Okay.
My favorite it's been honestly, like, I know I said Wicked Games last week, but that's always in my ear. I mean, obviously, I feel like that's my theme song, Wicked Games by Chris Isaac, but for, like, the past month, oh my god, White Feather Hawktail Deer Hunter by
See,
Lana
this
Del Rey.
I was
And
gonna say.
Yeah?
bruh, stop, are you serious? Oh my
I
god,
literally I feel like Abby's gonna say this too, but it's just the truth.
that it's just the
She
truth.
showed it to me. Yeah, she showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh, I get it now. I get it."
The girls who get it because I feel like
You gotta
bitches is
get it.
out here saying that, "Oh my god, like, what is she trying to do?" Like, da 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 da. If you listen to Lana's unreleased, baby, you will understand completely.
Also, it's
Like,
like, you just, like I feel like that's what you want from Lana, like, you wanna feel a little
yeah,
unsettled,
Yeah.
she's in the swamp now, honey. Like, you should have known this was coming.
Yes, I had this whole argument with my friends that they were like and I don't know why I believe them because 'cause I'm like, I feel like I know more than you, but they were Lana, like, lives in Florida with her husband. I'm like, "No, she fucking doesn't. She lives in Louisiana. Like, what are you guys saying? It's not
She
Florida."
doesn't.
Like, "That's not Florida." And they were like,
Like, "I need you to stop."
"Florida." And I was like, "I gotta look this up." And I was like, I was right. It is Louisiana, and I knew that it was.
And I
Mhm.
should have
Haha.
trusted my intuition because
Ser
Lana told me this. Like, I know it.
She literally
Yeah.
told
literally.
me in a
No.
dream.
Yep.
We showed the video for, the song to my partner, and they were literally like, "What the fuck is this?" And then the next
I
day
get it.
yeah, and they started dancing, and they're like, "Okay, I like, kinda get it now." And
Yes.
I'm
Yes. Yes.
That's
Abby
so
sent it to me,
funny.
and at first I was like, side
And,
eye, but
like,
then
us Lana
after, like,
fans
the second time, you're like, "Oh,
uh-huh.
okay."
And, like,
Yeah.
us Lana fans are like, "Please keep doing the home videos,
Yeah.
please keep doing the home videos." Like, I love like, video games, it being a home video, like,
Yeah,
oh my god.
good.
So what's
What's
yours,
your
Ugh.
Kim?
song of all time?
Favorite Lana song of all time?
Mhm.
Oh, that's so hard. I like Burning Desire.
That's a good
That's
one.
probably or Salvatore. I cannot pick.
Mm.
Yeah,
The
I
drama
can't pick.
one.
Yeah, for sure. Like, the
Yeah,
ones
she
that are,
likes the
like,
tragedies.
sultry. I like
Yes.
Ultraviolence too. I feel like for a while, it was, like, Blue Jeans, obviously, but
Yeah.
I like Lucky Ones. I like the older I don't know. I like the older stuff, but I feel like
I
that's so stereotypical to say.
I feel like her first album is still my favorite, like and it's
Me
just probably,
too.
like, like, literally, like, when that album came out, that's, like, when I first started doing magic, and, like, it's a good time in my life, you know?
Mhm.
Stop. Bro,
I
when it came out, it was, like, 2012, right? Her first one?
I think
Yeah, I
so,
was, like,
yeah.
11. I was 11. I had my, like, earbuds in. I was, like, looking out the window. I was like
Yeah, I think I was
Uh,
how old was I in 2011? I don't even know. I wanna say I was, like, 13 or 14 or something like
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah.
and,
Oh,
like,
you were getting into it then yeah, yeah.
mhm.
it I think my favorite song will always be the first song that I loved from her, which is "Off to the Races." I love it.
Oh, that one's a good one. That one's such a good one. Oh my god.
It is.
Cinnamon, I think is what it's called.
I love
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cinnamon Girl.
Cinnamon is my bop.
Love that
she's
Yeah,
one.
so good
cinnamon,
to
I'm
do,
like,
like, glamour magic too. Oh my god.
"Yes."
So
Like,
good.
"Yes,
Tot
I am the best. Yes, everyone is
Uh-huh.
gonna know me," as I'm, like, crying in the car. Yes.
Yeah.
Always.
What song
I
did you
picked
pick? Yeah.
which one I picked? I picked
Yeah.
Love Goddess by
Oh,
Amasia, Maijah, because
Ooh.
we're in the Venus it's Venus Day, and it's
mhm.
I love it. I think it is such a beautiful representation of self-love in the midst of healing and self-love in the midst of change and loss.
Mm.
So, yeah, that
That's
one that
I'm
cool.
gonna have
one
to look that
is the
up.
one.
Yeah, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh, it's
I'm
oh,
curious.
it's stunning, and it's, like, right in the beginning, it's literally you hear, like, the waves in the ocean,
Oh,
and so
Love
it's very Venus, very Aphrodite
love
centric,
that.
and I'm just like, "Yeah, it's 10 out of 10."
I love it.
So, I know that Abby stole yours, so do you have a different one in mind, or do you feel like that's the one?
A different one. I have really been loving, the song "Future Games" by Fleetwood Mac, which is, like,
Oh, I've
before
never heard that.
Mac we know, because you know how, like, they
Yes.
were, like, a different band, like, pre-Stevie Nicks Fleetwood Mac? I saw
Mhm.
someone, like, on, like, Instagram being like, "If you like this song, you would like this album," and it was, like I don't even remember what, like, the initial thing was, but I, like, looked it up and, like, it's a good vibe. I love, like,
Dude.
70s rock.
Me
I
I've
don't know if that's
never
too.
heard that.
that vibe, you know?
It's,
Yeah,
like,
my
almost
parents listened to
folk pop
that.
kind of yeah.
Yeah.
I love a good,
Mhm.
like, folk pop,
Like,
almost
that
like
song
Noah
what's that
Kahan and
song? I think it's literally called "Sitting on the Dock of the Bay," but it's like, "Sitting
Love
on the
that
do"
song.
like, I feel like me and Emma, I feel like we'd be listening to that in
Yes,
our little
I
house
love
doing our
that.
little
That's so
things.
yeah, that's so cute.
Yes, I love that song.
Uh-huh. Me too.
Are we ready to pull some
Yeah,
cards?
Yeah,
please pull for example. I'm so excited.
yeah. Okay,
Again,
it's
I
like,
apologize.
what do we wanna ask? Just, like, the vibe for the listeners?
What do you
What do
think,
you
Kim?
think?
Whatever it is that you are feeling called for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do Oracle and Tarot. I tend to
Ooh.
mix a lot.
Okay,
So I think I'm gonna do I love a release and receive. So maybe I'll do a release and receive, especially because 'cause we're in,
that's
like, a cookie,
perfect.
you
Yeah.
know? Okay, so
I never thought to do that, release and receive. I like that.
I love release and receive.
We did that. We did a release and receive spell for the full
We
moon.
did, we did a whole spell.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
Yep.
was good.
okay, interesting. And then okay, so for our release, we have the Strength card, and then we have Guardian. Um,
Ooh.
for our receive, we have the monarch, which in this deck is the emperor, and
Ooh,
then we have channel.
I
So
love
very
that.
in so I think what's coming up here is that, like, I think a lot of us are, like, spending, understandably so, a lot of time protecting our energy and, like, just trying to get through and trying to move through, and it's fucking hard because there's crazy fucking horrible shit happening all the time,
Yeah,
and it's just, like, so much of our essence is spent on protecting ourselves and just trying to show up and trying to show up in the way that we have in the past or that we expect ourselves to. And I think we're really being asked to like let go of that expectation, but also like let go of like this need to self-preservate in a way
Mm.
where we're kind of like closing ourselves off. Um and to invite a little bit more of this energy of the monarch and channel, which I think is really, it's like very clear, right? It's like channeling the emperor, which feels weird in a time that is like so much of what we're seeing happen and so much tragedy is caused by patriarchy. But it's like, I think, especially within this deck where it's actually not the emperor, it's the monarch, and it is more matriarchal. I think it's like we're meant to really find ways to like connect to power that is connect to our own power and connect to this essence of power that is pure, that is not corrupted, that is not siphoning from anyone else, that is just the pure energy of existence that exists in the world. And I think like the channel card really shows that, right? It's like all these like blessings coming down from the divine into the earth. And so we're really being asked to like connect to, like, instead of, like, spending so much time, like, protecting ourselves and being like, "Okay, I just need to get through, I just need to protect," it's like we need to, like, call on energy from beyond and our guides to channel power and to, like, fill ourselves also with power because the fight that we're fighting is being met with power, and we can't, like, proceed making ourselves smaller or making ourselves hidden. We have to find
yeah.
our own power that is pure and that is connected to the things that we value and that we love, you know? Yeah.
Dude,
Damn,
that's
girl.
so good. Dude, that was needed. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And I love that it's the
Okay.
monarch. Oh my god. Beautiful.
Tarot deck
They're
I'm
like
using is my friend's deck. It's called the Intuitive Night God Tarot, and it's a lovely deck. It's available everywhere. She made it real big,
it's
but
so
yeah, her name,
beautiful.
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful deck. So yeah, I
That
think it's really kind of like not making ourselves smaller to survive, but like
mhm.
finding the power that resonates with us and the power that is pure and redefining what power even is and where it comes from, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
feel like power, like, nowadays, like, when I hear power, like, I don't even wanna say it. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like it's just filthy.
Yeah.
Like, it's
It
a
has
filthy word, and I hate that. I don't want that.
definitely, there's, like, definitely a negative connotation, and I think it's, like, we have to, like, redefine that, and maybe that even looks like a different word, like, I love that, like, the emperor is, like it's so different, the monarch is so different
That's
than the right?
that's
So
so
it's, like,
symbolic.
find and, like, channel our own word for what it feels like and what it looks like to be in our own power, you know?
Yeah,
And not think of the traditional structures, that we can recreate what that structure looks like, and it doesn't have to only sit in masculine, it could sit in the
yeah.
balancing too, which
It could be
I
a monarch instead of an
yeah,
emperor.
yeah,
Absolutely.
that's what I love.
Mhm.
That was literally incredible. I have to
Yeah,
sit and contemplate for a
we
second.
needed that.
Um, yeah, I thank you so much for taking this time with
Seriously.
us, and I am so excited to be able to talk more with you
Yes.
and engage more because I feel like it's so necessary. I know we talk about it all the time of like community over competition. It's really,
Yeah,
really important,
for
especially in
sure.
the world that we live in today,
Mhm.
to create an establishment of support.
Help.
Because we all need it, and there's enough yuck going on around. We have to shed some light into the world.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
sincerely, I thank you so, so much for taking this time. Oh my god,
Yeah.
I got my deep. I'm so sorry. I'm like, mm, right.
Love it.
Um, and thank you so much. And I'm so, so, so excited to have another little check-in with you. And hopefully,
Mhm.
like, an episode all about Hades and Persephone, like, why
Yes,
not?
that would be so fun. That'd be so
Yeah,
That'd be
why
fun.
not?
we love that too. Thank you guys
Mhm.
for I
Thank
so
you.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
And
thank
I just
you.
wanna have just to ensure, and your, Instagram is Emma, Witchbrook, all of it is all the same, is it at and then do you have any other socials that you would wanna share with
Um,
us?
no, I'm just on Instagram. I do like through my Instagram bio, I have like linked like my
Okay,
booking links and like my Etsy and like, my newsletter. I do a newsletter, like email newsletter.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Stop, really?
That's
Okay.
so cool.
Yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
anything that I'm doing you can find through the Instagram link. But yeah, I don't have any other socials at the moment. Maybe that will change, but for now, just Instagram.
Oh,
Mhm.
no, that's literally perfect,
Perfect.
and I'll make sure to put it on the bottom as well so that we can all see it and have access to it, and again, like, that was amazing. You are
Yeah.
amazing, and thank you for being our first ever guest, and that's
Yeah,
really like,
seriously.
that is something that we truly honor.
It is an
Um,
honor. I feel honored. Thank you
I had
guys.
so much fun.
so
Yes.
I did
Well,
too. I cried at the end, but you know what? It's catharsis. Like, it's fine. I'm holding it back. We good. Um,
you're saying the Mars and Pisces, it's getting you.
it
Aw.
really is.
On the fingers.
Oh, they got it. I'm a chokehold. But as always, you guys can find us at Catabasis Cultura or Catabasis Cultura 1 for our socials. You can email us with stories at catabasiscultura@gmail.com. I am Kim,
And I'm Abby. And
and
this is
this
Emma.
is and this is Emma. And this is
Calabasas.
Cultura. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.